Let's go to page 262 and start with number 1a. So 1a, you're looking for square root of 16. So from here, you should know that right away that it's equal to 4. And if you don't, then this is what you do. Here you go 16 and you try to break it down into prime numbers. So this is divisible by 2. So you get 8. Divide by 2, you get 4. Divide by 2, you get 2. Divide by 2, you get 1. Okay? So now, the square root means you need to get 2 of the radicand to make an integer. So this 2 will come out. So there will be a 2, and this will come out to be a 2. Okay? And therefore, this will equal to 4. Okay, so that's how you break it down. Okay? Now let's go to 1b. You have negative square root of 16. Okay, so from here we know that this is equal to 4, so you just follow it down. Okay, so negative would be a negative in front, and square root of 16 from part A, we know that it's 4, and so your answer would be negative 4. Okay, just line it up. Okay, now you get 1c, you got square root of negative 16. Okay, when you have square root, when the index is even, like 2, right? Square root means index is 2. So when you have negative inside, then you cannot do that, so the answer would be not real. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do 1D up here, so that because I'm going to use these. Okay, example 1D, you have 4th root of 16. Okay, so I'm going to erase this over here. Okay, so you do the same thing. 16, you break it down this, right? But notice there's an index 4 over here. See, the index 4 means you need to get 4 of the radicands. Okay? So index 4 means you need to get 4 of them to make an integer. So there are 4 of them, and this will give you an integer. So this will equal to 2. Okay? So again, index 4 means you need to get 4 of the same thing to make an integer. So 4 same radicand to make an integer. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, number 3a. Get square root of 81. Again, the answer should be 9. But if you don't, then what you do is again go off to the side. Okay, divisible by 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay, so you keep going down. So now, notice that these, okay, square root means, when you don't see a number means 2. So you need to get 2 radicand to make an integer. This 2 will make an integer. Okay? And so the answer equal to 9. Okay? So same thing. 3b, you have negative square root of 81. Okay? So you can just go down. So this equal to negative is equal to negative 81 from here, right? Square root of 81 is 9. So answer would be negative 9. Okay, and same thing with C. 3C, you got square root of negative 81. Again, when you have the negative inside the square root, this is not real. Okay. Okay, and D. Okay, instead of doing down here, I'm going to do up here. Okay, again because I'm going to use this. Okay, so you can visualize. So 1D, you got 4th root of 81. Okay. So again, the index is 4, means you need to get 4 of the same radicand to make an integer. So 4 radicand make 1 integer. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this 4 will give you 1 integer. Okay. So again, 4 means 4 radicand make 1 integer, and answer will be 3. Okay. Again, when there's no number means 2 radicand make 1 integer. 2 radicand make 1 integer. So if you have 4 radicands, make 1 integer. Okay, 5a, you got square root of 0.01. Okay, Okay, there are a couple ways you can do this. Okay, one way you can use calculator. Okay, but if you don't use calculator, this is another thing you do. For the square root, right? You want to break into every two integers. Okay, so every two digits make into one digit. So square root of 0 will give you 0. Square root of 0, 1 will give you 1. Right? So you can square root. You try to break it down using two. Now this is just guessing, but usually it comes out pretty good. So this is kind of one way to tell. Okay. Now another way to do this is by making to a fraction. So this is equal to square root of 1 over 100. Okay, right? 0.01 is 1 over 100. Then you take the square root of the top and the bottom separate. So square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 100 is 10. And that's your answer. Okay? Okay, 5b equals square root of negative 0.01. Okay, now we got negative inside the square root, so this is not real. Okay, and later on you're going to learn about imaginary number, but right now just write down not real. Okay, okay, let's go to 5c. Okay, normally you want to go down, but I don't want to keep going down, running out of space. I'm just go to the second column. Okay, 5c equals square root cube root of 0.001. Okay. Again, you can kind of guess. Now, this is the cube root, means you have to break up into 3 digits, every 3 digits. So square root of 0 is 0, square root of 001, square root of cube root of 1 is 1. So answer would be 0.1. So that's one way of doing it. Okay. But now this is not all, doesn't always work. Okay. But this kind of just usually give you a pretty good idea what the answer would be. Okay. Now another way to do it just like this over here. So this would be cube root of 1 over, now 0.001 would be 1 over 1,000, right? See, there are 3 digits after decimal, so you're going to get 3 zeros. And after that, you take the cube root. The cube root of 1 is 1. The cube root of 1,000 is 10, okay? And usually you can do that, right? See, 1,000, you can break into 10, so it would be 100, break into 10, would be 10, break into 10, 1, right? Again, cube means you need to have a 3 radicands make into 1 integer. See that? So you can that's what the cube root means. Okay, 3 radicand make 1 integer. Okay, now 5d, you have cube root of negative 0.001. Okay, now over here, it's okay to, when the index is odd, it's okay to have a negative inside, okay? And so in this case, the negative, it just gives you a negative, so it's same as that, so the answer will equal to negative 1 over 10. Okay, so you can, if the index is odd, then if it's negative, you can just have negative, okay? And the reason for that is if you try to do, so this would be equal to cube root of negative 1 over 1,000, right? And what happens is that you want to, so the negative 1, right? See, negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, this can break into these, right? So that's why you still can do that. But for evens, you cannot do it, okay? So just remember that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, 7a, you got 7 squared, the square root of 7, square root of 7 squared. So square and square root cancel out, they're opposite of each other. Just like multiplication and division, they are opposite of each other. So these are opposite of each other. So square and square root cancel out, so answer would be just 7. Okay. Okay, 7b, you have cube root of 7 to the 3 power. So you can cube root and cube are the opposite of each other, so they will cancel out. So again, the answer would be 7. Okay. Okay, so 7c, you have to be careful with the negative inside. Okay, so don't just cancel out and say, oh, the answer is negative 7. That would be incorrect. Okay, so in this case, when it's a negative, you have to work out the steps. Okay, so negative to the 4th power. Okay, so negative, so you have to apply this first. So negative to the 4th power is equal to positive. Then after you cancel, so again, this is equal to, so multiply this first. get rid of parentheses, right? Negative to the fourth power is positive, 7 to the fourth power is 7 to the 4. Then, now you can go and cancel out the 4, okay? Fourth power and fourth root will cancel out, so answer equal to 7. Okay, so don't just say, oh, they cancel out, and then you answer negative 7, right? Because you have to do the inside first, and the negative will be gone because of the fourth power. Okay, now you get to 7D, okay? So fifth power, fifth root of negative 7 to the fifth power. In this case, again, if it's odd, the sign will stay the same, okay? Because negative to the 5 power, negative to the fifth power is still going to give you negative, okay? So this is equal to, again, you apply negative 5 power is negative, 7 to the 5 power is 7 to the 5. So first what you do is get rid of the parentheses, and then from here, you can cancel out the fifth power, okay? And so, again, you're going to end up with negative 7. So if it's up exponent, then it will stay the same. Okay? If it's even, all the answers should be positive. Okay, for 9a, you have square root of 1 over 64. Okay, again, when you have square root of the fraction, you just do the top and bottom separating. So square root of 1 is 1, square root of 64 is 8. Okay, now again, if you don't see that, just go off to the side. This will be 2, and then it will be 32, 2, 16, 2, 8. Divide by 2, you get 4. Divide by 2, you get 2. Divide by 2, you get 1. Okay. So again, you're going to get, this would be an integer, this would be integer, this would be integer. So 2 times 2 times 2 give you 8. Okay? Okay, 9b. You got 1 over square root of 64. So again, 1 doesn't do anything. Square root of 64, from here we know it's going to be 8. Okay. Okay. Let's go to 9c. You have cube root of negative 1 over 64. Now, because the index is odd, so it's okay to have negative. So you just go and take the cube root of the top and the bottom separating. So cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. Cube root of 64, okay? Again, you can use this one over here. So now, the cube root means you need to get 3 of the radicand to make an integer, right? So this will give you a 2, and this will give you a 2, right? So this will give you 2 times 2 will give you 4. Okay? So again, cube root means you need to get 3 of them to make an integer. 3 of them make an integer. So this will give you an integer 2, this will give you integer 2. So 2 times 2 will give you 4. Okay, 9d. You have negative 1 over cube root of 64. Okay, again, just none of things. So negative will be negative, 1 will be 1. Cube root of 64, from here we know it's going to be a 4. Okay, and so answer is negative 1 over 4. Okay, let's go to number 11. Okay, 11a, you have square root of 10 squared. Again, square and square will cancel out, so answer will equal to 10. Okay. 11b, you have square root of 10 to the 4. Okay. Now, index is 2, so what you do is just go and divide. See over here, 2 divided by 2 give you 1, so 10 to the 1 power is 10. So over here, this will equal to 10 to the 2, right? Because there's an invisible 2 over here. So 4 divided by 2 will give you 2, and so this will equal to 100. Okay, let's go to 11c. Okay, you have square root of 10 to the 6. Okay, so again, when you don't see a number, it means there's a 2. So this will equal to 10 to the 3, because 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. Okay, and so this will equal to 1000. Okay. Okay, so let's go to 11D. You got square root of 10 to the 20. Again, that's an invisible 2 right over here. When you don't see a number, means it's a 2. So remember, they are opposite of each other. So this is equal to 10 to the 20 over 2, right? 20 over 2. So this is equal to 10 to the 10. Now, when the number is really big, you can just leave it like that. If the number is small, you can multiply out. Okay, number 13A. So you got A squared. Now, normally when you cancel out, right, you will just get A. But what happens is that when you have the square root, the answer should be always positive. Inside should always be positive. But over here, so to ensure that it's positive, you have to put absolute value. Okay? Because what happens when A is negative number, when you square it become positive also. Okay? So what happens, you can just cancel out, because if you don't have that, then what happens, A is equal to negative number, then it would be wrong, right? Okay, so again, remember the square root of a number, you always take the positive answer. So to ensure that you get positive answer, you have to put absolute value. Okay, in case if A is a negative number, that way you still get the positive number. Okay, so 13B, okay, A to the 4. Now this, again, this is equal to A to the 4 over 2, so equal to A squared. Now you don't have to have absolute value because of square, right? Even if you have negative number, when you square, you still get positive. The purpose of absolute value is to make sure you get a positive answer, but the A squared is going to always give you a positive answer already, so you don't have the absolute value. Okay. Okay, 13C. The cube root of A to the 6. So this will equal to A squared, right? 6 over 3 equal to 2, right? Okay, 13D. You got 6 root of A to the 6, okay? So you can, the 6 over 6 is 1, so this will equal to A. They will cancel out. But again, because when you have the even index, you have to make sure the answer is positive. Again, to make sure the answer is positive, you need to have absolute value. Now this one you don't need an absolute value, because when A is negative, when you square it's going to give you positive, so you're fine. Okay? But over here, you have to ensure that it's positive. So in case if A is negative, therefore you have to put absolute value just in case if A is a negative number. Okay, number 15. You have x squared equal to 144. Okay. So what you want to do, you want to solve, so you take the square root on both sides. So take the square root on both sides. Now, when you take the square root on both sides, you have to put plus or minus on the other side. So when you take the square root of the variable, you have to put plus or minus on the other side. So now square and square root cancel out, so you got x equal to plus or minus. Square root of 144 is 12. Okay, and so that's your answer. Okay. Again, if you don't know that, you can go off to the side. Okay, divide by 2, you get 72. Divide by 2, you get 36. Divide by 2, you get 18. Divide by 2, you get 9. Divide by 3, you get 3. Divide by 3, you get 1. Okay, so this will give you a 2. This will give you a 2. This will give you a 3. Right? And so 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 equal to 12. So that's where the 12 comes from. Okay. Okay, number 17, you got x squared plus 9 equal to 0. So again, you want to get the x squared by itself, so minus 9 on both sides. So you get x squared equal to negative 9. Take the square on both sides. And remember plus or minus. Okay, so you can take the square on both sides. Okay, so you got x equal to plus or minus square root of negative 9. Okay, and in this case, you cannot, right? So there will be no real solution. So answer is none. Okay. So because instruction says, if there's no real roots, you write none. Okay. Okay, let's go to 19. Okay, you got 9x squared equal to 4. So you can take this. You can take the square right now, but it's better to clear out the number. So divide by 9. So you get x squared equal to 4 over 9. Okay, then after you take the square root on both sides. And remember, when you take the square, you need to have plus or minus, right? So now square and square root cancel out, so x equal to plus or minus. Then the square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 equal to 3. Okay, and so that's it. Again, make sure you go down step by step, try to line things up. Okay. Okay, number 21. You got 16y squared equal to 25. So you can first let's clear out the numbers, so divide by 16. So you got y squared equal to 25 over 16. Take the square root on both sides, and remember to do plus or minus. Okay, and then you simplify, square and square root cancel out. And square root of 25 is 5, square root of 16 is 4. Okay, and that's it. Okay. Okay, number 23, you got 4 minus 16x squared equal to 0. So again, first let's go and clear out the numbers. Again, you want to get rid of the things that are farther away and work your way in. So minus 4 on both sides. So you got negative 16x squared equal to negative 4. Next, you have to clear out this number. So divide by negative 16. Divide by negative 16. So you got x squared equal to, and this we can cancel, be 1 over 4. Okay. Then after that, you take the square root on both sides. And remember to plus or minus. Right? Take the square root on both sides. And again, make sure you show all your steps. So square and square root cancel out. And over here, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. Okay, let's go to the next column, number 25. Okay, you got 81 minus 9x squared equal to 0. So again, first, let's get rid of this number. So you got negative 9x squared. Again, line up everything so you don't miss the negative over here. Then divide by negative 9, divide by negative 9. So this will cancel out. So x squared equal to, the negative and negative become positive. 81 over 9 equal to 9. Okay, take the square root on both sides. And remember the plus or minus. Whenever you take the square root of the variable, you need to put plus or minus on the other side. Okay, so you can take the square root on both sides. Then you can go and cancel, go and simplify. Square and square root cancel out. Square root of 9 equal to 3. And that would be your answer.